I know, I'm nervous. Like,
Gotta. Welcome back to Quest Coast. We're getting ready for our 4th game of Swiss, and we actually have a Emerald Sapphire mirror match, which should be long and grindy.
Oh boy.
We'll see. So this is once again Daniel playing on Emerald Sapphire. We talked about his deck a little bit earlier. He has some interesting inclusions like the King of Hearts, the Baloo, and Tropical Rainforest. The King of Hearts prevents characters that are damaged from challenging, and Baloo can actually either have each player draw or discard a card. So kind of just some more card draw, but also some more disruption. Playing in place of the Basil that is usually played, and it does cost 2 less.
The Dune Spice.
Yeah, the Dune Spice.
And both of them are on 1 copy of Bend to My Will. I think we mentioned before that the inclusion of maybe at least 1 is for the mirror, so it worked out for both players here.
Usually for the mirror, or if you're playing against a purple deck and you just really want to ruin their day, then you will play Bend to My Will. Yeah. Pox's list, looking pretty standard, does have a new card in it, which is the Chernobog, which says when you play this character, you may shuffle chosen opposing character into their player's deck. If you do, that player may play a character from the discard for free, which has been seeing some play in green-blue, especially if your opponent's discard doesn't have anything that great in it, then this suddenly just becomes removal. Or if your opponent's discard doesn't have any characters in it, suddenly it becomes discard. His stats are pretty good, and he does quest for 2, so it's not terrible. He's uninkable, though, so you have to really be careful with that. But honestly, green-blue's not that greedy.
I think that is a solid choice for green-blue because of the ramp. You get it out rather early, like you said, before there
Turn
was...
4.
Yeah.
Turn 4.
Because, typically maybe something in the discard on your opponent's side might not matter for the value that you get from Chernobog. But I did play test it a bit against an opponent who had this in a Emerald Amethyst, a green-purple deck, and still playing it on curve seemed pretty nuts. It kind of carried the game.
Well, especially if you're on the draw and you target their 5-cost character, suddenly they lose a lot of tempo, and if they haven't put anything in their discard, then you're just getting rid of it pretty much, or you're shuffling it into their deck, but you might as well be getting rid of it.
Yeah, see, it reminds me if you're playing black or something in Magic, where you have a little bit of an advantage for the opponent, but your advantage outvalues theirs. Similar to what we've come to love with Hades' Infernal Schemer, right?
Right. Which is interesting. This deck's not running any of them.
Neither player.
But I don't think that's like a mistake at all. I played Emerald Sapphire a bit last set, and I tried putting Hades in. And honestly, most of the time, it was just kind of like taking up space, honestly, in your hand, which is crazy because that card is so good. But this deck really does just rely on wiping the opponent's board and drawing a lot of cards, and then helping deal with stuff by bouncing to your hand and things like that. So you don't really need Hades, and in a lot of cases, he ends up becoming a little bit of a liability. And he just doesn't get rid of enough things, for it to work. So
I think, Pox's list, the only new card we're testing here, or we're week 1 testing, Chernobog. Everything else seems pretty standard. What do you think about the Basil Undercover Detective versus Daniel's Baloo? Daniel's Baloo offers versatility to let both players draw a card, which we see Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman, provides, and we see how dangerous that can get for the green-blue player. But also, if Daniel chooses, could also discard a card, and that's kind of where it's like a cheaper Basil and faster because Basil has to quest in order to discard a card, but Basil also offers a bit of tempo gain by bouncing a card to their hand. What do you think?
I think the tempo gain is more important because the removal in this deck is so centered on bouncing things to the opponent's hand and profiting off it from Clarabelle. And then when they least suspect it, then you do like either the board wipe or you do bend to my will. And I think Basil just works better in that instance. However, I don't think Baloo is like necessarily a bad choice. He gets out earlier. So if you're playing a more aggressive deck and you need something to challenge, the other deck, I would say Pox's more stock list can struggle with that a little. You're going to have to use your like Cinderellas and sometimes the Donald Duck and sometimes the Chernabog before you get to those bigger answers. You're going to have to use them to either sing things like you're welcome, or you're going to have them fight just to keep you in the game until you can do the board wipe or until you can sort of get control of the game. I personally would rather play the Basil, but I do see the value in the Baloo. I think it's kind of interesting, but I think it probably is better to just play the Basil.
And I've been on the other end of the table quite a few times against blue-green where they play a Basil, bounce something. They play a second Basil the next turn, bounce, and this typically my last card.
Yeah.
The first Basil that had come down, quest to completely remove it, right?
Yeah.
Nice little combo there. And then we have stopped Chaos in its tracks. This has come and gone in several decks, but yeah, I think keeping the theme of tempo gain and keeping characters, threats off the board maybe. And you think maybe it's something for aggro? It affects 2 characters with 3 strength or less. How would you use stop Chaos in its tracks? I know you had some time piloting green blue less.
Yeah, I never actually tested stop Chaos in its tracks, but the thing that it's good for is using your early characters to stop aggro or just get certain problematic cards like Cheshire Cat, like off the board, since it's 3 strength or less. Cheshire Cat's 3 strength. So you can use that to get rid of like their Genie or their Cheshire Cat or some of the early threats to kind of just get some tempo back. And the nice thing is that if you play like your ramp and then you play, like if you play Clarabelle, you ramp and then you play Prince Philip, generally on turn 4 you can shift Clarabelle and you can do this immediately.
I was about to ask, like, how would you do it with Cinderella, Donald Duck, or a shift Clarabelle and a Tipo?
I mean, you can do it with, you just need to get to that number, right? And honestly, it shouldn't be that bad. Like if you play Clarabelle turn 1, Sail turn 2, and then on turn 3 you play Cinderella. You're already like halfway there and you're ramped up enough to shift Clarabelle. That is, of course, unless your opponent plays like Angel or something and just ruins your day. But there are ways to do it. And of course, like so many of the characters in this deck are so well statted that like all you really need is just 2. Like generally you need 2 characters to sing this and you'll be set. So yeah, it's a good inclusion and it just really helps like bounce stuff. And it's also inkable, so if you don't have any use for it, you can get rid of it. Unlike Mother Knows Best, which is a really good card, but it is uninkable and can be a little problematic. Like trying to, especially when certain targets like Genie, like, you know, they get something back. And obviously that's going to happen with Stop Chaos in its tracks as well. But like the ability to do 2 characters using your, you know, really expensive characters because you ramped is just like really good, honestly. So I think it's probably, and especially in this format, it's probably better to just play Stop Chaos instead of Mother Knows Best.
Well, that'd be too corny. it's like, let's stop our chaos now. Well, let's see what happens on this game 4. We got a mirror for you.
Let's do it.
It's kind of neat. You can do this and zoom in like a gesture, and then we'll zoom in on you. And then there's also like
I'm gonna do that if I ever. I'm gonna be like.
I think you can do it with one hand too, and it'll just. All right, 1 die at a time. What was it? That was pretty high. I didn't catch exactly what it was.
I think Pox is on the play. We got distracted. We were looking at something, and now, I believe Pox is on the play. This is a mirror match, so this one is it's a little rough as somebody who's done the Emerald Sapphire mirror matches before. It can get very grindy. A lot of it comes down to who draws their answers. who gets their ramp, who doesn't, like a lot of factors, and who does the board wipe first, because generally sometimes, like, if you put yourself in a very vulnerable position and get board wiped and then you don't have like any answers, that's really bad. You see Hawks throwing away a lot of cards. I believe he has ramp at the moment.
I've seen him play, and half his cards are always upside down. But he knows what he's looking at.
Yeah, in a normal event, you get in trouble for that, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Don't do that.
New update rules.
Yeah, you have to have all your cards right side up. I don't know how people do it. But it drives me crazy. Like when I draw my card and it's upside down, I'm like, ah. Like I've had people cut my deck and send it back, and somehow it got like turned backwards, and then I'm like drawing the card, and then I'm like, that ain't right, and then I have to feel the sides of the cards, like, where's the opening, the sleeve, and then I'm like turning it. I'm like, it's got to be. If it's not correct, it's gonna drive me nuts. So I'm like, I always got to do it that way.
All right, and we're off. Let's see.
We're off. So
See if he's happy
I
with his
see
hand.
Shift Clarabelle. I see Chaos in its tracks. Chaos in its tracks.
Stopped chaos.
I do see the sail, so
Inking the 1-drop.
yeah.
You think by this point he knows the matchup, or he's going in blind?
I don't know. He might be going in blind. Generally, though, on the play, you don't really need to play the 1-drop because you're not trying to keep parry at the moment.
Eco, you're welcome, and play Basil.
Yeah.
And
Go
go.
ahead and play Basil. Sometimes it depends on your hand too. If your hand is full of uninkables, you definitely don't want to play the 1-drop because you need the ink.
Yes.
But
Learn
so
that.
far, the nice thing about green blue is, especially both of these versions, they're not very greedy.
Was it your develop your brain? You're welcome, you're developed. So played a sail, was able to eat the stop in his track, and played a 1-drop now.
A little early, but there's not really anything in the mirror match that can respond, so it's pretty safe. If you're playing against Blurple, you have to be a lot more careful with the Clarabelle 1-drop because of Elsa, especially when you are on the draw. You have to kind of do the trick where you, on turn 6, you play Clarabelle and then shift immediately instead of trying to set up for the turn 5, because if you're on the play, you can do it. If you're on the draw, you probably won't do it.
Yeah. Seems like Daniel might have missed ramp, played a vision here. You think? What would you be looking for on turn 2?
Ramp.
Vision. Okay.
You're really, I mean,
Better late than never.
Better late than never, honestly. Like, one of the things you can do, like in Blurple, and I know this isn't a Blurple matchup, is like, if you play a 1-drop and you miss ramp on turn 3, you can quest and then use Into the Unknown on your own character to try and catch up. It's not great, but,
We're
it can
a
help.
sail, playing a Cinderella, which is in turn 4, right?
Yeah.
End of his turn is inking, triggering Cinderella's ability, and he drew a card off of that.
Yeah. Fox is in a really good spot here. He's got the Shift Clarabelle, I believe, so next turn he can do it and then just profit.
Definitely hitting his ramp on 2 and 4.
Yeah.
And he's building his board.
Daniel doing another vision.
Oh.
Trying hard to see. Can't really see what's in the hands at the moment or what's what they're looking for, but
While he takes a moment to decide, I want to give a shout out to Pox. He won Quest Coast 1 last set. He wasn't able to visit any of the DLCs, and Quest Coast 1 featured a DLC promo, the Mulan, which Pox was able to take home. All right, Chernobog.
Plays the Chernobog instead to just get rid of the Basil, and also he knows that Daniel doesn't have any characters in his discard, so he's basically just removing it. Doesn't really need the card drop.
And it quests for 2.
Yeah, but he's also going to be able to just quest with Cinderella, and which he does. Just get some 2 ore on the board. And
we're off.
Not looking good for Daniel right now. No ramp.
He's only on 3 ink, correct?
No characters.
4
nothing really to do.
Yeah.
Finally gets some ramp. Gets the Cinderella, but
able to filter at the end of his turn.
Yeah, it's looking a little rough right now. Obviously, you could get a board wipe going.
Oh, there's
do
the
shift fireball.
and yeah, I don't know exactly, but Daniel's got quite a few cards in hand, so Pox is going to be able to benefit quite a bit from that shift fireball, drawing three cards.
Yeah. And with a hand full of T-bows and other ways to just ramp up, filter.
Correct.
Playing another Cinderella, just trying to catch up at this point, and also dump his hand.
Both Cindy's are, correct me if I'm wrong, they're 2/3s.
The 2/3s.
Yeah, if Pox wanted to, he could stop Daniel in his tracks and bounce those back to his board, which might be advantageous, and just keep questing.
Yeah. Instead, he's just going to develop, just look around.
He might be able to look for it if that's what he wants to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
All his characters have.
There's no reason not to just continue being aggressive at this point, because you have all the advantage. You have 5 lore on board, which means you're gonna basically get to 12, and you've got like a 2-turn clock.
He's got like 12 cards missing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Digging again.
He's just setting himself up. He's in a spot where he's not too worried. There's nothing too threatening right now.
Yeah, there's not like a Prince Philip on the board or anything to threaten.
And
the board
there's potential. I mean, he
there's to stop chaos.
There it is. Yep, bounce back. I was about to say with the 2 Cindy's, there's a potential that there's undersea, but that would only get rid of the Cinderella on Pox's side. So nothing really too worried about.
The other thing about stop chaos in his tracks is when you have Clarabelle on board, you just getting more Clarabelle value.
Extra value. Yep, Pox's deck synergizes pretty well with all this bounce and Clarabelle just feeding off of the cards in hand for your opponent.
Filtering. I actually don't really see how he loses this game at this point. He's set up he has a 2-turn clock, and the only way to basically stop him is to wipe his board, and you would need the perfect kind of synchronicity of cards in the right moment at this. That's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, Daniel shaking his head, but he remains vigilant.
Vigilant.
Yes.
Oh,
he's gonna drop some.
Okay.
There's a Tropical Rainforest. Mean, malicious, and scary, hard casted. Deals 1 damage to every character on Pox's side.
And as a reminder, Tropical Rainforest reads opposing damage characters gain reckless. So basically,
he's
stopping. Pox from questing.
So at least Daniel's working out his game plan and also sets it up for the bigger Prince Philip to wipe the board potentially and maybe claw back into the game. Yeah. We'll see if Pox can prevent that, or
they're
both having a good
the thing with Pox is all he really has to do is just take out the Tropical Rainforest.
Correct. Yeah.
And then I believe.
Well, they're all reckless, so he probably will, right?
Yeah.
But
they have to. They literally have to.
I'm just worried for his board.
Uh-huh.
If Daniel has let me just find the name of it. Prince Philip, Vanquisher of Foes in hand.
Yeah. But he does still have a lot of cards, so he could claw back, even if his board did get wiped. But
so it looks like he's challenging both there and the Tropical Rainforest. It does have 6 willpower. And he's going to target his own Cinderella. He wouldn't be able to target the Prince Philip Royal Explorer because that one has ward.
Yes.
So Pox is just all about the card draw right now to set up and make sure he secures the win here.
Looking more and more likely.
Yeah. Probably doesn't really care about the Clarabelle ability, although he is still there.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he has another big Clarabelle in hand. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if he has ink for turn. Oh wait, but he does have 7 on board. He could just
play it.
Yeah.
And if the Vanquisher of Foes, Prince Philip, comes down on Daniel's side, then he would have another 2 Buster. But it looks like he just inked it. What will he play? Well, he shouldn't have been able to quest there, right? Because they should have had Reckless.
I guess it depends on. Well, the rainforest is gone.
Yeah, it's gone, but they still have Reckless. So actually, they should not have been able to quest. He's saying no. That's a Chernobog. I'm not sure what happened there, Josh.
I think
because the Clarabelle should have a damage on it from the mean malicious.
It does.
Well, but
it's hard to tell.
Maybe he didn't quest because he just updated the tracker.
He did quest. I believe that I thought that was a die on Clarabelle, but now I'm not so sure. It's kind of hard to tell.
It should be because I didn't see. I think the die is like on her leg. Yeah, we do have some red dye that we.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a moment to, I guess, call a judge and ask, like, if Tropical Rainforest.
Well, because you
not in play anymore, does the effect still linger? Right.
I think you're right there because it doesn't. It was only when the tropical. Yeah, I think you're right. That's my mistake.
Yeah,
because it's just a static ability on tropical rainforest, and he dealt with it. So yeah,
and it doesn't say till the end of turn or anything.
Yeah,
I think if it said till the end of turn, it would be like an effect that would stay there.
I think in my mind, I've mistaken it for John Silver's ability. Where, it would be just reckless during their next turn, the timing. So. Yeah, taking care of tropical rainforest probably.
Then there he is, John Silver.
Yes.
Just to really hammer it home. No longer has the Prince Philip. Doesn't have a way. Yeah,
that is GG's.
That's gonna be in game 1. Yeah, it's kind of rough when you miss ramp, right? You just, What do you do?
Fox just said, "All right, you don't have an opportunity to go grinding."
Yeah. And I think he played it correct, like just being incredibly aggressive.
Yeah.
There are moments where you think, oh, I could, delete that cheapo, or I could get rid of the Cinderellas. What are they really doing, that are going to hamper my game plan, right? But you never know. Sometimes that mistake is what actually loses you a game. Yeah. So a lot of times, even though it seems like just being overly aggressive, sometimes it's best to just block your opponent out and just delete everything they do, make everything they do invalid, and you just kind of win that way.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm checking for any temple games here. Daniel is running Mother Knows Best, but only 2 copies. I wonder if he was able to sing that with either the Prince Philip 3-drop or the Cinderella at any point to kind of slow down Pox, but yeah, Pox was in a good spot almost from turn 1.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, we're gonna see. Hopefully, Daniel gets some ramp this time, and I do see what looks like a T-bow in hand, and then Pox also seems to have a T-bow.
Brings that to and
I believe in Chernobog as well.
Or do you think people want to see? I think once we know that they altered.
Yeah, we can just do a transition so that it's 3 hours later.
That'll be kind of fun. Is that public domain?
No, it's not. Changing the I used to have a friend that would cut, and he would cut just the top 3 cards of the deck.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no strategy to that. You're just being petty.
there's different science or schools of thought. I ask people sometimes just to hear what they say.
Yeah.
Or the one card on the
But it's
bottom.
like rolling dice, right? It's like, you know, it's going to ink and not play anything once again.
Yeah. A lot of us are friends here, and we kind of play with each other long enough where, you know, just a lot of trust.
All right, he hits the ramp. Going with the T-bow, being very aggressive in the hand dumping.
He got his ramp.
Yeah.
Daniel.
But he's already played a 1-drop and a T-bow and inked.
All right, we
A
have
little aggressive, but see how it goes.
Fox is keeping up on the draw. He also sees ramp. Needs a secret card. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Yeah,
thing.
Daniel not super happy with.
Did you catch what it was?
I did not. It's kind of hard to tell.
I would say it might be another card that he already had, and he's okay. But I don't know. Is it a Chernobog? Another T?
No, because he's not running. Sure.
Correct. You're right. Maybe
Really hard to tell.
one cost.
Gonna
card.
sail. Honestly, sail is a good turn 4 play anyway. As long as you
Before.
actually ink, or excuse me, turn 3. Turn 3. Because a lot of times you're really wanting that Cindy to ramp again anyway, so you might as well, like, if you don't have her, just ramp again. You know.
I wonder if I was playing on Daniel's side, maybe I would have kept Basil up, but maybe he's just going the full aggressive route and not really too worried if Tipo would trade with the Basil.
Yeah, trying to get some of that early lore, I suspect, because Emerald Sapphire, it's not like it really has like rush characters or anything you can do on a moment's notice. So you might as well try and get some of that early lore.
Right. It's not purple with play also. Or something.
Exactly.
All right, another Tipo, another ramp. So double ramp. There it is. Basil, Fox reads. Maybe it's fine to trade
Scared of the battle.
or just taking down a body for a body
Yeah.
while he can.
No, he's currently at 5 ink now, I believe.
Daniel eats a balloon. Pays 5 to ship Clarabelle and Quest.
Okay.
Alright.
Not bad. Not a bad.
1, 2.
Pulls a John Silver and a Prince Philip, the smaller one.
Clarabelle, or sorry, Chernobog targets Clarabelle
Yeah.
to go back into the deck.
He is going to get to play that T-bow for free, so.
No. On Daniel, it's the Basil.
Oh, Basil, you're right. You're going to get to play the Basil back for free, which, you know. I mean,
Yep. And he does because
honestly, this game's selling me on Chernobog. I'm like, this card's pretty good.
Chernobog is pretty good.
Yeah. Later in the game, though, probably not so good. Especially in like if you're playing against Blurple and they have a Hades in their discard, you're gonna hate playing Chernobog.
Yeah, you would have to do second guess, but yeah, I mean, we did get a Basil. He has an ability with support. He can quest. Does two attack, but it's really Fox has a 4/5 quest for 2. I'd take that trade. Trade off, I guess.
Gonna go ahead and keep questing
All right.
and then trade. Play that.
Tipo was able to challenge and take off Fox's Tipo because Daniel quested with Basil first, giving Tipo the support.
Yes. Well, Daniel has more lore at this moment, but it's hard to say if he has game advantage with that Chernobog on the board. Losing the Clarabelle was
He did get 2 cards off of her and 2 lore,
yeah.
and he at the time took control of the board.
That is one of the main issues
Oh,
with
right,
Clarabelle.
yeah.
All right, yeah.
John Silver giving Fox's Chernobog Reckless.
The biggest issue with that is that he quested again,
Yeah,
which means he's going to lose a character.
yeah.
Which
will it be?
Probably.
I would say
probably
Tipo.
Basil.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Basil is more like trading threat. He's a 2/1,
Yeah.
so he can take out more things, and also he can help other things take out things.
Correct. I was just
and
testing you there.
And that Chernobog is still there, unfortunately. And because Chernobog is a 5/4, if John Silver quests and gives it Reckless again, he's going to lose John Silver, which is not great. But also, if he quests and gives Clarabelle support, he also just loses John Silver, and then Pox doesn't lose anything, really. He just,
Right.
Clarabelle takes damage.
And we have 6 ink on Daniel's side. Daniel's considering where can he go from here. He has not inked for turn yet, I believe. He could, not a player playing Hades.
No.
He could play another Clarabelle if he has it.
It's hard to say. I think from this point on, the best thing that he can do is just dig.
What's like John Silver giving Reckless to?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Clarabelle, but it looks like he pointed to.
Oh,
that's why.
Mother knows best.
Yep.
Okay. And then questing with Tipo.
Again, I'm probably. If he
on
wanted to
display.
remove the Chernobog, he might have kept Tipo not available.
Yeah.
So that Fox would
otherwise he
have
just
to go
loses.
into John Silver. But
Yeah.
maybe he wants John Silver to stay on the board. That's another
Yeah.
strategy as well.
I mean, John Silver does disrupt a lot. Fox going to dig. Inking the Donald doesn't want to give Daniel more cards.
And perhaps, Daniel has the Vanquisher of Foes in hand, Prince Philip. While Chernobog does have damage, maybe that's the way he'll remove it. Fox is checking his discard of 3 cards.
Which means he probably found a Chernobog. Yeah, he did.
Good call.
It's kind of a.
Oh, Dan, is this a third Chernobog trigger? Dan was like, oh, this.
His game's kind of selling me on Chernobog a bit.
Yeah.
Cards seems good. Seems good.
Seems like you have an affinity on it.
I think
see
in
Chernobog in your hat.
yeah, buddy. I think certain matchups it's probably not the best.
But then,
But,
it's not inkable. It's 5.
Yeah,
it's inkable with Tipo and Cinderella.
Yeah, with other cards, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's the beauty of Green Blue, right? If you don't like it, maybe you can either get advantage of Cinderella to turn into something else.
Yeah.
Or,
make it go away. Say no, sir, or ma'am. Make it go away.
yeah.
All right. Fox only quests for 1 so far, I believe, or maybe nothing.
I
but,
think the fight here is for the board.
yeah. Daniel's halfway there, but he's gonna have a little bit of a harder time. That's Cindy.
And it looks like he passed on Cindy's trigger. I think he only has 1 card in hand. He's probably happy with it. He doesn't want to turn it into a Tipo or something.
Oh, Donald Duck though.
Oh.
Donald Duck though, you got to be really careful in the mirror because they could be trapping you with a bend to my will. They want you to draw a lot of cards, or they could have a Clarabelle ready. Right, you have to be really conservative with when you draw and how much you draw.
It's very interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because if you draw too much, then they play Clarabelle, and But now Daniel looking to profit off of and Pox drawing off of Donald Duck.
If Pox has the Bend to My Will in hand, I couldn't tell if he was happy about that Clarabelle, but maybe Daniel's walking into his trap there.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the thing about
And Daniel will draw with the Perfect Gentleman.
Yeah, these control matchups get very mind gaming, and Fox responding with his own Clarabelle and a Tipo, inking, just dumping his entire hand, so that Daniel doesn't get any value out of the Clarabelle.
Right. I think it's more about questing at this point than are you racing or are you?
I think Pox probably has enough ink to do a board wipe if he wanted. I think Daniel needs a few pieces still. It's kind of hard to
did
tell.
Daniel get something he really needs or something?
That looks like
or is it a draw? He drew a Tipo. Oh, it's a sale.
It's a sale, yeah. So what Daniel really needs is just some ways to stall. Like if he had a You're Welcome or something, that would be amazing.
We'll dig for it.
Yeah.
We've got a Cindy.
I mean, the Cindy is not a terrible thing to proc with the other Cindy because you're going to, he's going to end up playing the John Silver.
I might choose Donald, but I'm not sure.
I feel like if you're digging, you probably want to choose like either Chernobog or
What did he choose? Maybe they said it verbally.
I'm not sure.
So it wasn't Chernobog, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some
traded
visible dice there.
Yeah. I feel like if you're digging for the board wipe, you play Cindy again and you just start hyper filtering to just try and find it. But it's kind of hard to see their hands, so it's kind of hard to see like what exactly they're playing. I think this is another vision or develop. It's develop, yeah. It's kind of hard. There was a glare right there, so it's kind of yeah. Develop the brain. So mind gaming it out.
And we're spending 2 to play a vision. Keep on digging.
Yep. Just digging for any kind of response in case, because technically Daniel could board wipe at any moment with the amount of ink they both have. Both players could lose literally everything.
What do you think about including the new Pete in green blue? Because when I see develop and vision played, it kind of reminds me like Pete is kind of used as both those cards.
I think you could make an argument for playing Pete as opposed to Chernobog, but I think Chernobog just adds really reliable early game removal. And you already have Donald Duck and Cindy to help you kind of dig. And you have Vision, and you have Develop, and you have Sail to an extent. So I think you actually have quite enough tools to dig. I don't think Pete is totally necessary, even though he has really good stats. I think you would probably value the Chernobog to get rid of some early game threats that are gonna keep you out of the game.
Yeah, and for those at home, we're referring to Pete. This is a new card in Winterspell. Ghost of Christmas Future. Essentially, you look at cards, the number of cards that have boosted or been placed under him, and you choose one.
Yep, it's really good. It's really good, but it's funny because it only goes in like some really specific decks.
Yeah, it is a 5-cost inkable, but it's also a 5/5.
Yeah, but it's hard to get rid of.
And there's also a 5-cost song back. Let it go.
Yeah. So we have another John Silver coming out, or is that the same one? Oh, it's a different one.
It's a new one because
one.
All right, he's triggering Donald. Yep.
Which I don't blame him. He doesn't have a lot of cards right now, so it's probably okay. But you probably are.
Both players seem to have at least 5.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has Fox has a Clarabelle on the other side of the board, and Daniel doesn't. So Daniel drawing is pretty rough.
What is he? Oh, kind of.
So he's singing with Donald, and then
he turned all his ink, but we see the intent.
Yeah. So doing a board wipe, like I said earlier, you have to be very careful with the board states as you get later on, because when you get enough ink, you can just swing the entire game at a moment's notice.
At 12, you can keep your characters to quest and play the mean malicious scary, and then the vanquisher first.
Yeah, I think honestly the best thing for Daniel to do at this point is to just try and respond in kind with a board wipe, but you're going to need to filter for those pieces. And you know that other than Bend and I Will, neither player's really running like hand disruption. I guess Pox is running Basil, so there is that. Daniel is going to play the malicious, mean, and scary though to just maybe set up.
Well, now they cannot quest until they deal with the tropical rainforest, but as we saw,
so he is giving himself, potentially an extra turn.
Yeah, but I think, let's see, I think the Vanquisher of Foes can just one-shot.
Can one-shot the rainforest, so Pox will be able to get like 5 lore right off the bat and get up to 17, I believe. So, plays another vision to go digging. Probably just looking for some stuff. Finds at least a Prince Philip. Couldn't really see what he took there, but I'm sure we'll see it on the board in a minute. Yeah. These control mirrors, man, they get digging again. Doing yet another vision. Not really clear what he's looking for, but he picks the card real fast. So he either found what he wanted or he took whatever was the best thing. He finds bend to my will.
So just lock Daniel out of the game. Quest to victory.
Yep. So I'm going to assume, he's going to use the Vanquisher of Foes to take out the Rainforest because it's a quick one-shot, and then just quest for 5.
Yep.
And now that he knew that he's used Bend to My Will, pretty much, I don't think Daniel can literally do anything to win this game.
Yep.
And that's it. Yeah. Fox is the winner.
And we have the mirror. Wait, did he just... Oh, he finally saw...
He finally saw it.
That would have done it if he... Yeah, so if he drew that, everything was damaged, and he would have been able to clear the board if he had topped the Vanquisher of Foes to live for another turn.
Honestly, it do be like that sometimes.
And that was a mirror, a 2-0 by Pox.
All right, so that was game 4 here at Quest Coast. Pox taking the whole thing. I will say the tropical rainforest did do, I think, what its intention was. Mm-hmm. However, I think in the mirror, it's unfortunate that the stats of almost all the characters are just so high that you give them reckless. And some of them, like we saw in that last play, the Prince Philip can take out the rainforest all by himself. So the rest of the characters just got to quest anyway. So that is a little unfortunate. We never really saw the King of Hearts come out and make any plays. We never really saw Baloo kind of do anything. I think the thing to take away from this game, honestly, is that blue-green, you just kind of sprinkle in some Chernobogs and sprinkle in some Stop Chaos in its tracks, and it's still a really good deck. It's still a really good deck.
There was a lot of value from Chernobog.
Yeah.
As we saw. Yeah, I'm trying to think with Tropical Rainforest. I wonder if there is some combo here. Green Blue loves their combos, but I think maybe...
Yes, it's one combo.
Well, no, the Clarabelle, you're welcome.
Yeah, I guess, sure.
But yeah, I wonder if Tropical Rainforest, along with maybe another Tropical Rainforest, since you only pay 1, I think there is that Goofy that benefits from locations for more draw and stuff like that too. But maybe that's too much.
That's too much.
Too many pieces.
It's too many things to do.
Yeah.
And when you're playing on this deck and an aggro deck shows up, you're going to be so happy to see that Chernobog, let me tell you.
Yeah.
At least the first one. After that, probably not so much, but the first one for sure. I do think 3 might be a little much, but it's week 1.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing crazy stuff. It's fine.
You think so? In game 2, we saw how bittersweet it was to just check that extra card if he had another turn.
Yeah.
And it did turn out to be a Prince Philip Vanquisher of Foes. Do you think he was pretty ahead, right? And that would have, if he was able to slam that would have been able to be a quest for 3. And
I think he would have maybe saved himself another turn or 2. Yeah. But Pox already had so much card advantage from the Clarabelle that
he had a full grip of cards.
It didn't really matter. I think it would have saved him an extra turn, and possibly he the score would have been higher. But I think by then, by the time Pox used the Bend to My Will, the game was essentially over at that point.
Locked out Daniel. And
so I think it would have saved him a turn, but I don't actually think it would have won the game.
Actually, thinking back on it now, wasn't there a Donald Duck on board? Oh, but it's
Yeah.
that would have been on
would have been
Pox's
caught.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yep, drew only one card per turn, and unfortunately, it was a Cinderella or something. It wasn't Philip.
It was something like that, yeah, or it was Clarabelle's or something. I don't quite remember, but yeah, I think what I will take away from this game is that continuing with the shells we've had, like if your deck is a Blurple or an Emerald Sapphire or something that we've seen for the last like 2 sets being played, you don't need to radically change what it was already doing, because what it was already doing was super good, you know, already pretty consistent and pretty good. And it's been worked on for like half a year at this point. I think you sprinkle in the things that are just going to make you slightly more consistent, like the Chernobog's going to make you a little more consistent into mid-range and other decks, especially like when you play that Chernobog on turn 4, which I think is when it's the best, because there's probably nothing in your opponent's discard at that point. And then if you're smart with the You're Welcomes, using them to get rid of characters that you don't necessarily want them to bring back, then Chernobog stays good. Right. So I think it's just like a pretty nice upgrade for the deck that also just gives it, it does give it a little more complexity than things you have to play around, right? But I think overall, it's just a nice little upgrade to a deck that was already like really, really good.
Pox definitely here to defend his title on West Coast 1, right? But I do appreciate Daniel bringing in some new cards, even though I messed up and I didn't even know Baloo was from set 10. But it was good to see some new spice, some different takes on these colors.
Yeah.
And
especially in August, when we know we're going into rotation again, and we're going to lose things like Clarabelle completely, which means that honestly, Emerald Sapphire will probably not function the way that it functions now. It's going to be that one card is sort of like the foundational element of it, and it's going to just eradicate it, you know, to an extent. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when that happens. So if you like this deck, you should play it now while it lasts, because you've got a set left. You've got this set, and then you got Wilds Unknown, and then after that, it's time to put some of these cards away.
We're talking about the 7-cost Clarabelle, light on her hooves.
Yeah.
Hooves?
Well, also the 1-cost. She's also from Shimmering Skies.
Yeah.
So we're going to lose her too. Alrighty. Well, we'll go on to the last round of Swiss, Game 5, after we take this quick, short break. See you later.
You can hear a brief message from our sponsors.
Presented by Sorcerer's Hat. Check out my channel on YouTube. I post brand new Lorcana videos every single Friday. Visit me at youtube.com/@sorcerershat.